This week on Empowering Midlife Wellness, I'm getting into all the details about our next Activating Happiness and Menopause retreat coming up in November in Costa Rica. We've got the program, I'll tell you all the details, and mostly I'm going to break down any idea that you might have about why retreats are not for me. I've heard a bunch of them. I'll tell you why they're all stories that are not true, because retreats are for everybody, especially if you have some resistance, because that's one of the things we're working on. So listen to this, and you will find out why you need to come. It's going to be amazing. I don't want you to miss out because you think there's some reason why retreats are not for you. Not true. Hi friends, and welcome to this week's episode. If you're just joining me, I'm Dr. Susan. I'm a board-certified gynecologist and certified menopause practitioner dedicated to taking care of women in midlife. And that includes women just like me, women who want to feel great now and also do everything we can so we can continue to feel great well into our older decades. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about our Activating Happiness Through Menopause and Beyond retreat that's coming up in November. It's November 12th through the 16th in the Guanacaste province of Costa Rica. Now, this is the third retreat that we've done, so I can tell you all about what I expect that it's going to be like, but I can also tell you we don't know what it's going to be like because it depends exactly on who comes. Now, retreats are really amazing, and if you've ever been on the fence about wanting to go to one, I want to give you some reasons about why this might be a good idea for you, because I've heard some of my patients and friends talking about it and they're like, oh, I really want to go to one of those, but let me tell you some of the reservations that people have, and maybe you share that, and I'll tell you why you just don't have to worry about any of those. Well, first of all, we've got the program. It's below. No doubt some of it will morph a little bit as we get closer to the date, because that's what happens. What's fresh on our minds at that moment might not be what's in the program, but this is what we are planning. First of all, we're going to arrive in the Liberia airport. Now, if you live in Houston, or basically any big city, it's really easy to get there. The big airlines like Southwest and United fly there, so very, very safe. Here's one of the questions I had. I'm worried about Costa Rica. It's not safe. Costa Rica is safer than the United States. It is known to have a very safe, chill, honest, lovely, wonderful culture. People will come up to you and say, Pura Vida, which means good life. Life is good. Costa Rica is safe. Now, you're not going to experience much of the outside of Costa Rica unless you do one of our optional excursions, and please do that. But in fact, we're going to be picked up by the hotel in a professional vehicle and driven a whole 20 minutes to the hotel, which we have the whole entire place. It's a gated property, so yes, it's safe. And I do hope you venture outside into the beautiful Costa Rica, either at the end of this retreat on one of the optional excursions or some other time, because it's one of my favorite places in the world. I've spent a lot of time there. Some of my best friends in the world are there now. It's as safe as anywhere. So take that one off your list. Costa Rica is safe. And if there are places that are not, just like any country or city, we're not going to those places. So really, really safe. So we're going to arrive there in the afternoon. The program itself doesn't start till the evening, so you're going to have time to get comfy in your room. We're going to have a tour of the property, just walk around and show you what's what. It's not very big. Like I said, we rented out the whole place. This is a small boutique hotel. It's called Golden Palms. You can look it up below. We have a private beach. Let's just say everything's private because, did I mention, we rented out the whole place. It's got a combination of single rooms. Now, each room has a patio with a little sitting area. These are more like what we would call suites in the United States, but there's a very nice bedroom, a little sitting area. Some of the rooms have 2 queen beds. I really love that, by the way. I always stay in a shared room. It's just fun. If you've ever wanted to sort of break out of your shell and do things a little bit differently, share a room. A lot of people have signed up for a shared room and they're not bringing someone in particular. So towards the end, we're going to mix and match, ask you guys all some questions, those of you in shared rooms, and match you up with someone that we know is going to be probably one of your best friends forever. So I might share a room with you. I usually share a room with one of the hosts, but I think this year I'm going to share a room with one of you because that sounds fun. Nice bathroom, shower, all the things you could want. We've got lots of fresh water. There's nothing you need to worry about at this hotel. Now, it's Costa Rica, so they've got some bugs and mosquitoes, but I don't know about you. I live in Houston. We have those right at home. Theirs are not any bigger. We don't have any snakes, lizards, any dangerous things like that. These are some questions people have asked me. Folks, Costa Rica, it's a fantastic vacation location and frequently quoted to be the nicest place in the world as far as just the people. So let's get over that question. So we're meeting, we'll do a tour of the property, I'll show you around. There are various different really cool meeting spaces. Now, I'm not talking about a conference room with a TV on the wall and PowerPoint slides. No, we're not doing that. In fact, they don't even have any of those. But the meeting rooms might be, one of the rooms is inside because it might rain. Yeah, it does that. Also here in Houston. Now, this is the end of the rainy season, so typically we'd expect it might rain no more than once a day and probably in the evening. But if it does rain, we have this really cool indoor space with glass walls that look out at the ocean. We're taking out all the furniture. We're going to be sitting on the floor for those who are comfortable or in comfy chairs for those who prefer that. We're going to have different kinds of places to sit so that nobody's uncomfortable. Another thing I heard is, I can't do this yoga stuff and sit on the floor because I've got aches and pains. We got you covered. You can sit in a chair, comfy one, not a chair that you'd find at a typical conference. While your speaker, whoever that is, that might be me, Meg, Kelly, Shanti, they are not going to be showing you slides. They're going to be walking around talking. We're going to be chit-chatting just like I am now. I might be sitting on a cushion. I might be walking around. We're chatting. I'll be offering some information, and we'll talk about the content that we're offering in a moment, but not in a teacher-student manner. We're all women collected to share information. This is not a top-down thing where there's an expert and someone who doesn't know anything. No, we're all equals. We're all friends. Trust me, we've all gone through the same things. We're sharing. Now, I might have some particular expertise about something like menopause, so I will be talking about that and offering some of my wisdom about that particular topic, but in a discussion-type manner. So that's what to expect from the rooms that you'll see where we do some education. Another room where we do some education is called Outside by the Ocean. There's a beautiful space with fire pits, shaded by trees. It's got some lovely rocks that we can sit on with pillows on top. You get the idea. So our opportunities to be in a group in some type of teaching environment are in nature, or if it's raining, in a really beautiful space where you can look at the beach, because taking in nature is part of the healing aspect of this retreat. So I'm still talking about the tour here. We'll tell you the spaces where we're going to be eating, which are all beautiful. We're going to be eating our meals, as I mentioned. Did I say we're the only ones there? Beautiful buffets with really healthy food. I've worked with a chef to create a menu that is not only absolutely delicious, made from local organic food, but also really healthy. Because everybody I know who wants to go to this retreat wants to eat delicious, healthy food, and lots of it. You won't be hungry, but we won't be serving traditional American breakfast buffet with waffles and cereal. No, we're going to have beautiful, healthy food. Also, very limited alcohol. The reason why is we all know that alcohol is not healthy for us. We also know that a little alcohol can be a social lubricant. Yes, that is one of the benefits of alcohol, so that will be offered with dinner, because we've got some after-dinner programs that are really fun, and some people might like to have a glass of wine in order to enjoy that to the max. But during the day, we're not drinking alcohol because we're staying in a mindful, really clear-minded state so that we can learn the most, experience the most. And all of us know, certainly I do, when I drink alcohol during the day on vacation, I pretty much go to sleep and my mind shuts down to getting any wisdom. So that's not going to be offered during the day. Now, if that's your practice, that's your preference, you can do that on your own, because we're not telling you what to do. We're just giving you suggestions about the way you might get the most out of the retreat. So no alcohol during the day, that's our suggestion. Whatever you choose to do with that is up to you. But to participate the most, that is the plan. And then we'll walk around the rooms. We'll show you the beautiful pool. Their pool is absolutely gorgeous. It's huge. It's right on the ocean. And then keep talking about this private beach. It's really lovely. I've spent quite a lot of time on that private beach. You can sit and look at it. You can walk on the sand. It's long enough that you can get a nice walk back and forth and actually get some exercise. We'll talk about that in a minute. That'll be offered in the morning for those who want to join me, because I love walking on the beach in the morning. It's one of my favorite things to do. If you like to swim in the ocean, it's very safe to do so. Done that too. You can swim in the ocean for exercise. You can swim in the ocean and paddle. You can get on a paddle board. Any of those things. So being in the ocean is great. I will talk to you before the end of this video about some of the offerings that we have in the water. So lots of stuff going on there. Well, after the tour, now you know your way around. We are going to meet in the evening for our first get together. Now we've called the first day of the retreat our day of intention. There is a flow to this. We've organized a flow so that we're moving through different states of mind. I don't know your state of mind, but we're suggesting states of mind that we could try to think about so that we can maximize the experience. So intention setting at the beginning of any event is so important. So we'll be getting together, setting our intention internally. We don't have to talk it out loud. Why are we here? Why did we come? What are we here for? Perhaps my intention might be to show up as a kind presence, to not do any harm, to offer light and wisdom when I can, to connect with as many people as I can, to be open-minded to other people's ideas, to not be defensive. These are my intentions. You might have different ones, but we'll be setting those together and then doing some really fun stuff. This is fun. I'll just tell you, those of you who've been before know it's fun. So for our first evening, we're actually outside around the fire pits. It's absolutely beautiful. We'll be sitting around the fire, listening to music, talking. Our fellow friend, wonderful host, Yaniv Shanti, will be helping us with our evening activities. He's also a DJ amongst other activities, but helping to guide us through some really fun, ice-breaking activities that are just fun. They're not scary. I'm gonna jump in here and say, I've had some patients say, oh my gosh, all that stuff sounds scary. I heard you guys were dancing, and I don't really dance. I'm not really good at that. We highly recommend that. You don't have to be good at dancing. Nobody is watching. There's some physical movement just to loosen us up, but in no way is this a dance competition because nobody's watching. This is all done internally. One of the things Shanti always said is dance deliciously. You're not dancing for someone else. We're not dancing to be seen. We're just dancing for ourselves. So in any respect that dancing is offered, number one, it's optional. Number two, nobody's looking. And as Meg would say, number three is nobody cares. And that's not because we don't love you. It's because really nobody cares. Everybody's just thinking about themselves. So these are wonderful opportunities to work through some of those insecurities that might have been holding you back all of these years. So one of the reasons to go to retreat is to break free from some of the insecurities. That's a good example. Maybe dancing, maybe asking a question in front of other people, maybe going to a place that might feel scary to you. These are all stories that have been holding you back from doing all the wonderful things that are available in the world. So maybe that's one reason to go. Well, we don't stay up late because we really believe in sleep. We want you to be in bed by 9:30. So everything wraps up around 9. You'll go back to your room. And we don't start early either. We're going to start with breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning. That gives you time to sleep in. Now, there will be an optional activity. I mentioned that I love to exercise on the beach. So I'm going to be exercising on the beach, and I'm going to ask anyone that wants to join me just to come join me. You don't have to, not at all. But we'll be doing some walking, some running if you want to. I'll organize it so that it's absolutely safe for any level of fitness or any experience or any injury. Walking on the beautiful beach, we may or may not be doing some meditation at the same time, depending on who's there and what they want to do. Maybe some running if you want to. I like to do interval runs on the beach. Like that means running as fast as you can for a couple of minutes, then taking a break back and forth. Whatever it is that we want to do, we'll do that on the beach at about 7:15 for 30 minutes. I don't expect most of you will come. I get it. Most of you will be sleeping in. That's fine. We'll meet at breakfast at 8. So breakfast is leisurely. We're talking with each other. There'll be various tables where your various facilitators are sitting, and you can join whichever one you want to. Meg has a fun thing she likes to do reading what are called angel cards. That's always fun. I might be doing some pop-up questions about what you want to do with your life. We don't know what's going to happen, but we'll be having really interesting conversations at breakfast. We'll help you. You don't have to sit in silence. We'll be making that really, really fun. So the breakfast conversations turn into friendships. Sometimes people are not used to talking about, deeper, more interesting conversations, but we'll help you with that because it's fun. Now, it's a light breakfast because nobody wants to eat a heavy breakfast. So a light breakfast is something like fruit, yogurt, boiled eggs. Depending on your dietary requirements, we'll find something for you. So light breakfast, then we move into yoga. Now, some people said that's weird to do yoga after I've eaten. Not really, because you're not eating that much. Yoga is with one of my really dear friends, Mila. Now, Mila I met in San Jose, Costa Rica. One of the trips I made there, I went to her yoga studio, which is often told to be the best yoga studio in San Jose, Costa Rica. She is a very talented young lady who is an amazing yoga instructor. She can teach the highest level of yoga to those who are interested, but we're going to be doing something a little bit more approachable. In fact, in the morning, something really easy and stretchy, and if you've never done yoga before, you will absolutely be able to do it. And if you do yoga every day, you will also really enjoy it because she can add some modifications for you, and that's going to be on the beachfront. There's a grassy area. We put our yoga mats out there, and we're looking at the ocean. It's like heaven doing yoga in the morning, I'm just telling you, and she is amazing. If you just listen to this woman's voice, it just makes you want to relax. So after yoga, we do a little bit of meditation. Now, meditation is not religious. I'm just going to jump in there, and I've had some patients say, I'm not into this meditation thing. I have a Christian practice or a Muslim practice or any practice, and meditation doesn't fit into that, so I don't want to do that because I associate that with Buddhism or Hinduism or something that I don't feel good about. I've heard that before, and I just want to tell you, this is not religious. This has got nothing to do with religion. Whatever spiritual practice you follow, you will feel right at home. Meditation in this context is just relaxing our mind, bringing us back to our intentions. Typically, Yaniv Shanti leads these. We talk about things like gratitude. That is not religious. Gratitude belongs to everybody. Happiness, how to remember things that made us happy, bring them to mind. These are the kind of things that we do when we are meditating. Now, so you don't have to be able to sit cross-legged on a pillow. You don't have to be able to stand on your head. None of that. I've heard all those questions too. You can lay on the ground, whatever you want to do. So now we're feeling very relaxed and chill. We have a little bit of a download every day to ask people how they're doing. We sit around and we ask, how's it going? How are you feeling? Answer some questions, set out the plan for the rest of the day. Because you're going to be in such a chill mood, you're not going to be wanting to look at your schedule all the time. We'll remind you where the various things are happening, talk about the flow of the day, ask any questions. That takes about 30 minutes. And then we'll move into our first session. Like I mentioned, the sessions are very chill, very relaxed, about an hour and a half of just getting together with women talking about interesting topics. So on day number 1 was our intention. Day number 2, now we're getting some inspiration. That's what we named day number 2. And our first facilitator is going to be Meg Ellis, my dear friend. Many of you have met before. Meg, you already know, is a conscious life coach and NLP practitioner. She's got a lot of information on her own website, which I will list below, Create Your Fate. She's been on lots of podcasts with me, amazing friend, and she's been at all of our retreats. She gives the most amazing, inspiring talks, helping us to come out of our shell. She's going to be talking about feminine and masculine energy and how that might show up in your life. Really, really interesting stuff. Again, the point of this is to open your mind to ways that you may be limiting yourself to your greatest potential. Myself, for example, I live a lot at work in my masculine energy. That's the energy of getting stuff done, being in control, being powerful, and helping me to release into my feminine energy that is more accepting, allowing people to give me things, being a little bit softer, being a little bit more generous. All of that's so helpful, and everybody has a balance, so that's an amazing topic. She may throw in some other things as well, whatever's on her mind at that time. So about an hour and a half, we do that. And like I said at the beginning, we really don't know what's going to happen because it depends on who's there. Usually in a retreat, the questions somebody else asks are the most alive for me. Someone else asks a question and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was a great question. And the answer to the other person's question ends up being an answer for me. So you don't have to ask any questions. They will be asked and you will get the answers anyway. So it's amazing how that process works. It's just when you get people together who are in a free energy and they are open, all kinds of magic things happen. And then, by the way, in the meantime, you're making connections and friendships with these people because the other people are sharing things. And when we share things with each other, we connect. We can't help it. You fall in love with people. You're like, oh, I get that. That happened to me. Or, oh my gosh, I understand that. I didn't think anyone else had that. Those moments happen all the time. Well, then we go to lunch. More beautiful, delicious food, more wonderful conversations. It's very chill. We allow a long time for lunch. There's no rushed schedule. This is on Costa Rican time. It's slow. We get around to it when we get around to it. Now, we will try to stick somewhat to the schedule that you see below. In the afternoon, Kelly Workman, my master personal trainer, she also has so many other skills if you read her bio, too much to read here, is going to be talking to you about progress, not perfection. Now, sometimes you might look at the videos she makes with me, and she looks like a supermodel, and I've got a nice amount of muscle as well, and it can look overwhelming. That might not be your body right now. But talking about, we're not looking at perfection. We're looking at just how to make small steps towards moving in the direction of a healthier life. I talk about this a lot, moving towards our optimal older day. I have a vision of who I want to be when I'm 85, that older woman and what she's doing, moving towards that. Yeah, we're not moving towards perfect, we're just moving in that direction. So she'll be talking about that and sharing some of her wisdom about that amazing topic. Again, if you had this question, and I've heard it, I don't want to go to that retreat, you guys all look like good in bikinis, and I'm really overweight, and I'd be super uncomfortable being at a beach resort, please come. Because we love you. It does not matter what your body size is. That is irrelevant. You don't have to wear a bikini. And if you did, we would congratulate you and love you for being so brave. This is not a beauty contest. Remember, it's all women. Nobody is judging each other's body. I promise we are not. We're not. So if not looking a certain way is preventing you from coming to this retreat or any other gathering, please look at that and realize that is a limiting belief. That is a limiting belief. You are a beautiful person who can be out anywhere doing anything that you want. And if you've got physical limitations, we will help you with those. In fact, if you come and you tell me that you're scared because you don't like your body, I'm going to be so proud of you. That is a real connecting moment right there. That's going to bring tears to people's eyes, and that is a gift that you could bring to give other women with your courage. So think about that. Please don't let that stop you. So after Kelly's talk, it's not really a talk, she's not talking to you or at you, but after that discussion, we have 3 hours in the afternoon from 4 to 7 that you can do whatever you want to. It's really important to have time to integrate this information and not be rushed from one learning session to another when you haven't had time to process what you picked up in the morning. It's like, okay, what was it that I learned in the morning? You may want to journal. What was it that Mila said? So we have plenty of time for that. Now, during that time, you can do absolutely nothing. You can take a nap, you can journal, whatever you want. You can go to the beach, you can go swimming. Now, there are some activities offered for those of you who want to do them. There'll be some pop-up yoga activities for those of you who want to do something a little bit more strenuous or challenging with Mila. There'll be some pop-up strength training opportunities with Kelly if you wanted to try that. You don't have to go to any of these. There'll be some paddleboarding. There'll be some bicycles available. There'll be some other things that we can offer, and of course, there'll be some massages available. Now, many of you may want to do that because, hey, why wouldn't you? That sounds great. There are going to be massage tables on the beach and also in the spa available. Those are going to require us to sign up ahead of time, of course, because there are limited spots for those, but we do hope you'll enjoy that sometime during the time that you're there. Again, that's from 4 to 7 p.m. 7 p.m., we're going to meet for dinner. Again, amazing, local, organic food. Here's another question someone said. the food's going to make you sick. No, it isn't. I've eaten there lots of times. You're inside a very nice resort with world-class chefs. This food will not make you sick. This is amazing food, not street food that sometimes is cooked in a different manner. We're using organic fish, organic vegetables, salads. We're staying away from sugar because we know that's not good for us and most of us don't like it. We're also staying away from red meat because that's something that many of us don't eat, like me. But pescatarian-based, vegetarian for those of you who want that, lots of protein. We're making sure we all get lots of protein because we know how important that is. Lots of yummy vegetables, fruits, all the things that Costa Rica has to offer. And then after dinner, now we're about 8 o'clock, 8 to 9, we're going to do an evening program. We don't have a set schedule for the evening program because I'll tell you, it does flow with how we're feeling. But the evening program might include some physical movement. We may ask you your favorite songs and play some of those so that we can move. We may do what's called a cacao ceremony where we sit around and share this amazing local ceremonial drink. Then a lot of things we might do in the evening depending on the weather and our mood. That's from 8 to 9. Remember, we want you in bed by 9 o'clock. Well, that's the end of our full day 1. Remember the first day we were setting intention. The second day we were getting inspired. That's our inspiration. Day 3 we called activation. Now we're putting these ideas into action, and that's where you'll hear a little bit from me. The rest of the day flows pretty much the way that I mentioned for previous day, but the gatherings with a facilitator helping with some education will be led by me on day 3. One of those is going to be really just demystifying menopause. By now, most of us know a lot about it, so it won't be me teaching you so much as just going through some of the popular questions that people have, answering some of the questions that you have, so that by the end of that, we all feel very comfortable with a base education about perimenopause, menopause, options to treat the symptoms, why we might want to do that, the health benefits of menopausal hormone therapy, anything like that. So if you have questions about that, please bring them. If we're not able to answer all of them in that session, you can just come sit with me at breakfast. We'll talk about it personally. If you want to make a private consultation with me to just talk to me, we can see if we can fit that in too, or at least after the retreat. Then we go into lunch again, and then in the afternoon, I'm going to be talking about how to create a holistic health span plan for you, including all the things: nutrition, exercise, sleep, hormone optimization, looking at your lab work, optimizing body composition, relationships, emotional therapy, all the parts of our life, so that we can become the woman who's in that picture of our optimal older day. We'll be putting together that for each of us. That's a lot to do because there'll be 40 of us there. So we'll be throwing around ideas that are good for everybody, and then if you have individual questions, of course, come sit with me at breakfast, set up a private consultation. Any of those things are fine. Evening is similar to what I described last time. And now the next day, now we've had 2 full days, we're on our 3rd full day. This is maybe my favorite day. This is where we really get connected. This is our day of connection, where the program's a little bit different. We are going to start it the same way. However, the afternoon, instead of having 4 to 7 p.m. blocked with nothing to do, we're going to go on a catamaran cruise. Absolutely gorgeous. That is going to have some alcohol involved if you want it, as well as delicious food from 4 to 7 p.m. Again, we do recommend that you limit alcohol, but that is going to be coming after a wonderful day of connection. The facilitators are all going to lead those 2 programs with some amazing activities that make us feel so warm and fuzzy and connected, so deliciously friendly with everybody, so free of everything that we have not forgiven, all of the regrets that we haven't let go. You're going to be ready to go on a catamaran cruise at the end of that. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. And then dinner, same thing, evening activities. The last day we're saying goodbye, so we are going to start the same way with yoga and then gather together to just download together what we've all learned. I can tell you in our previous retreats, that's been the most beautiful ceremony. A lot of tears, a lot of hugging, a lot of laughter, a lot of exchange of phone numbers. We'll help you with that with your permission so that everybody's connected afterwards if you want to be, because you will be. You will meet people there that become lifelong friends. I have done so at every single retreat that I've been to. And then we, around lunchtime, head back to the airport and fly home in a lovely, fuzzy, relaxed, warm, wonderful state where we've made new friends, learned new things, and gotten rid of some of our old ideas about why retreats are something that I just don't do. Because I promise you, whoever you are, if you haven't been to one yet, there's not a person in the world ever who has left one of these saying she wished she didn't go. Everybody always says, I am so glad I went, because you will learn something, probably a lot of things, but something really important about yourself that I bet you will allow you to lead your life in a way that's just slightly different enough to make it a little bit better. So that's a bit more about our retreat in November. I can tell you it is more than half sold out. I mentioned there's a total of 40 at the most guests that can fit in this very small boutique retreat environment. We've also got some other stuff I didn't tell you about that's secret that's going to pop up now and then at the retreat. So that's just going to be more fun that you can find out when you get there. So check it out below. Go ahead and sign up below. We have extended the $200 discount if you enter the code Pura Vida. Pura Vida is what we say in Costa Rica. You will get a $200 discount. Now that is going to expire soon. We plan to extend it just through the end of July. We want to make it more affordable. I know these things are expensive. It's a big commitment. Get a shared room, please. That's a great way to save money. Use the Pura Vida discount. We want to make it as affordable as possible so that more people can experience it. So check it out. Sign up below. Can't wait to see you there. And if you have questions about it, you can reach out to me, email me, drsusan@drsusan.com, and I will answer any questions that you have about why I should not go to retreat. I bet I've got an answer for you. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to share it with your friends, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you next week.